the Resourcing Tomorrow show with Jeremy Wrathall, the Executive Chairman of Cornish Lithium. Jeremy, nice to meet you. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you too. Good, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I mean, you're here with the Cornish entourage, the Cornish Pavilion. You were here, or you weren't, but I know the Pavilion was here last year. Maybe just give us a sense of the presence of the Cornish here, and also what you want to achieve from the show.
What I want to so the presence of the Cornish here is because the critical minerals strategy it highlighted Cornwall's potential for metals of the future, and really what we all depend on: iPhones, batteries, etc. So the fact that Cornwall's here is to show that there is still metal there which can be mined for the future of the UK economy. Lithium in our case. And we're starting up our lithium operation, which will be in production by 2029. So it's brilliant to see it. Fantastic.
And I noticed the Cornwall School of Mines. They've got a stand. I don't think they had a stand last year, but they had some people here. Could you perhaps give us a sense of the opportunity in Cornwall? Because I know Cornwall quite well, and it's always been a bit of a not much happens. You go on holiday, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's a bit of a dead end place, but you've got all these resources in the ground. But I did also hear. I mean, this is more of a sector-wide problem. That the Cornwall School of Mines were struggling to fill places, for geology, that kind of thing. So, what's the potential in Cornwall, and where do you see this sort of sector today and its future potential generally?
Sure. Okay. Well, the School of Mines wasn't here last year, as you said, but they are because suddenly they are front and centre of the critical mineral strategy. It's mentioned on page 2 of the critical mineral, which I'm very proud of. I went to Cornwall School of Mines. I'm a graduate mining engineer, so it's just awesome, really, to showcase that the only centre of mining education now is in Cornwall at Cornwall School of Mines.
Right.
But the interesting thing is the uptake of geology as well is now full for Cornwall School of Mines. A local sixth form college's geology course is full, so students are realising this is part of the industry of the future. Most people in the UK would say mining, coal, boring, part of our past. Not anymore, because you really, if you think about what goes into our modern devices, lithium, nickel, cobalt, copper, they're all things that were mined in Cornwall in the past. All of those things, including cobalt, nickel, copper, and tin. Obviously tin's very, very important for solder, etc., for electronic devices. So really it's highlighting the potential in Cornwall, which is still there, and it's been known about for a long time, but only now when this imperative's on us it really brings Cornwall to the forefront.
So what happened then? Because it was a big mining place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There were lots of jobs there. What happened, and what potential is still left, do you think?
I love this subject. What happened in Cornwall was we've identified about 3,000 metal mines. Now that's incredible. It's an incredible number, but there were 3,000 metal mines.
Right.
All from one end of Cornwall to the other, into Devon as well. What happened, most of them are copper. Copper was far more important than tin in the history. But in 1866, there was a global financial crisis, which also caused the copper price to collapse, and the end of the American Civil War. That was terrible because it shut down all the copper mines in Cornwall, pretty much about 80 to 90% of them.
Right.
And what then happened was that all the expertise left, went to Australia, went to the Kalgoorlie, went to South Africa, went to all over the place, and all the capital also left. So what you've got is a geological feature of a major metallurgical province preserved in aspect, sort of thing, that nobody's looked at it for a very, very long time. But when you go back and look with modern exploration like geophysics, which is what we do, combining that with ground truthing of old data from 1860, you can see amazing things there. And there's also a population who, there's a lot of people who are retirees, and it is a popular holiday destination, but that's on the coast. If you go inland in Cornwall, you'll see massive social deprivation, third generation unemployment. Cornwall desperately needs something, and they're proud of mining. Most people in Cornwall are proud of the fact that my dad was a miner. Your dad sounded like he worked in the industry as well. So it's a rejuvenation of what was there for 4,000 years. They've been mining copper and tin in Cornwall forever. It's really exciting to see South Crofty coming back on stream. It's what we're doing in lithium, what Cornish Tin are doing, what Cornwall Resources are doing. etc. So there's a real revival of interest going on.
And you've got support, presumably, as well, from the local communities, because it's in
absolutely.
their blood.
We have. Yeah, of course. There's lots of people who ask questions. Of course, I would be asking questions if somebody said they're going to put a mine near my house. But there's been nobody lying down in front of trucks or causing environmental nothing like that. So it's very supportive. Bring it on. We want to see it. We want to see the jobs. We don't like the fact that all of our children have to go out of Cornwall for a decent job. So the fact that the geology courses are filling up, the mining engineering courses, it's just fantastic. For me personally, it's amazing.
Yeah, good. And it's really good to hear that, actually. And I was saying before we recorded, wasn't I, about I think I've been investing since 2012. I've never really seen a bull market in commodities, but I've been getting the sense over the last year or two it's been actually starting to get going.
Yeah,
we're seeing it in sort of gold price, for example, copper price as well, tin price. And the sense I got from a conference in Zurich recently was we're just in the first innings of what can be a really nice cycle for us in this sector.
I think so.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What are you saying to investors here? New investors probably.
Yeah.
What's your sort of elevator pitch, if you like, for Cornish Lithium?
The elevator pitch for Cornish Lithium would be we are well funded.
Okay.
So at the moment we're not looking for new investment. We've just closed a round of £37 million.
Right.
So it's a pretty major round with the backing of the National Wealth Fund. So that's the UK government.
Yeah, okay.
Plus money from TechMet and Energy and Minerals Group, which is great. They're from the US, or funded from the US. But I think the major thing is we are making progress. We're finishing our feasibility study right now at our hard rock project.
Okay.
We are going to be drilling our brine projects next year on a commercial basis.
Okay.
And we are just getting on with the job. We're progressing.
Okay.
But the really exciting thing I think to say to investors is look what else is there. Look at Cornish Tin, look at Cornish Metals, look at new companies which may be founded going forwards, and to see what else could be done in Cornwall.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've got both hard rock and brines.
We have.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And basically you're fairly advanced then, because you're going to do a feasibility study next year. That's going to be out next year.
Yes, it is. Going to be finished by the end of this month.
Right. Okay.
So it's done by Senko. It's really proper full feasibility study. All our environmental permitting is going through at the moment. Okay. We have been designated as a nationally significant project, which is reserved for airports, nuclear power stations. This is UK government is serious about this stuff.
No, they are, and it's finally good to see that, actually, because I was talking to some government people last year, and I was like, come on guys, let's get going. And now it seems like they actually are.
They really are. They've drunk the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Good. Obviously the feasibility study is coming out, so we can't talk about that, but are you confident in what you know so far, and that will sort of back up the economics and the viability of the project?
Yes, because we've literally just closed the round, and the people who invested in it did their due diligence. So yes, I'd say, look, trust them, they put their money in. So, the economics at today's lithium prices, it's very challenging to raise money at today's lithium prices, because about 70% of the cost curve is underwater.
Right,
that's like,
it's done better recently though, hasn't it, the lithium
It's come up a bit, but and that's the beginnings of people are realising that battery energy storage is suddenly going gangbusters, and that's going to be lithium. So suddenly, hang on a minute, there was an oversupply. We may have already crossed into balanced market, possibly even to undersupply. So people are beginning to think, oh, hang on a minute, we may have been short, now we possibly shouldn't be. So there's a beginning of that.
Okay.
But I think we're really at an interesting point in the lithium market. It's a baby market. It's only been, lithium-ion batteries have been around for 40 years. That's it.
Yeah, I know. And I know we had the sort of craze, which is typical, isn't it, when a new, and it's a very lumpy kind of pipeline. But that's typical, or something's trying to find its feet.
Exactly. So and that was the worst thing that could have happened. It goes to $82,000 a tonne. Everyone with a wheelbarrow in China starts to try and mine it, and you've got an oversupply. Exactly. That was the problem.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you're well funded. So just can you give us a sense of the roadmap? Perhaps looking throughout the course of next year. So after the feasibility study, plus you're going to be drilling on the brines. You're clearly well funded. I mean, sort of how far does it take you, or where would you like to be, let's say, in a year's time? Well,
we will need to raise more money to. We're going to be going through to FID by the end of next year.
Right.
So we will then be needing to raise the full construction finance, assuming it's a positive decision, which we surely will be.
And that's in about a year's time?
Yes. So over the next few months, the next 12 months, we will be looking for new capital because we have to think about offtake finance, and that's great. We haven't sold our offtake yet. We'll be looking to build the Trelava project, money to build it, so debt and equity. And then building the brine pipeline out is very exciting. That's a massive growth area for the company. Right. So we're drilling 2 commercial size wells next year. Hopefully that will prove the reservoir, and then we can roll that brine operation out across Cornwall. We really think it's across Cornwall as an opportunity. So yeah,
good.
Exciting time.
Well, you sound pretty. Yeah,
I am excited. I genuinely am. Good. It's been tough raising money in this market. As you can
for
imagine.
a while.
Very tough.
Yeah, and to get that away then is really positive.
Yeah, great to have the national.
No, there's definitely more cash ready to go.
Good.
In this sector.
Good.
I think
that's always good to hear.
Well, Jeremy Wrathall, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you. It's great. Cheers.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programmes at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.